Let's stay with matters involving the police. The acting minister, Firoz Cachalia, has been meeting SAPS senior officials in the Western Cape to discuss concerns about gang violence. Our reporter Linda Mnisi joining us now live for more of what came out in that meeting. Linda, good evening to you. Let's understand what the acting police minister was saying here when he says police have to redouble efforts to deal with a crime in the Western Cape that has become an evolving one from just criminal gangs. What does he mean by that?
Well, Polly, you'd recall that the issue of gang violence in the Western Cape is not necessarily new. Therefore, the questions were around what it is that the police perhaps are not doing right when it comes to tackling the scourge. And the police minister says, well, it's not necessarily an issue of, the police not being able to respond to the gang violence. It's the fact that it's evolving over time, and it's now grown into what he says is a syndicate, a transnational syndicate, organized crime that needs police to enhance their efforts. Let's take a listen to how he had to explain it.
One needs to look at this matter carefully. The problem is not the police. As I was just indicating, what we're seeing is an evolution in gang violence. It has deep historical roots. It's been there for a long time. You're quite right about that. But I think that now what we're dealing with is organized transnational crime. These are syndicates that are well armed. They have financial resources. These are businesses accumulating large amounts of money. They have access to guns. They are supplying drugs, and it's not just the drugs that they used to supply when I was growing up. These are drugs that are destroying communities. So we're going to have to fight this problem in a comprehensive way. The problem of gang violence is not the result of inadequate policing, but the solution to gang violence requires enhanced, intelligence-driven policing.
All right, Linda, so the minister also fielding some questions about the calls for the deployment of SANDF members. He has sidestepped that issue, but he's sending out a stern warning to gangsters. What's he saying?
Absolutely, Oli. He's seemingly spoken to a number of experts around the possibilities of deploying the defense force to the ground, sending those boots to the ground to tackle what is seemingly a problem that is on the rise. And he says many of them have simply told him that it really isn't a solution at this point. So it's not on the table. So they're looking at various ways to, respond to the challenges of gang violence. This is a province that in the fourth quarter saw a slight decrease in the murder rate, but most importantly, a province that sees firearms being the most commonly used instruments in murders. So he's saying these gangs are destroying communities. They live amongst communities, and they need to think about what they're doing. Take a listen.
This is not just ordinary crime. I think this is the kind of crime that affects our national security, and so they have to understand this is a serious matter, and those of us who represent the people and who are working in the state cannot accept the situation. So I'm going to be pulling out all the stops unless I see a retreat from the of these drug lords and gangs. They've got to step back, stop the violence. Otherwise, they're going to force us into a situation where we have to take more and more action against them.
All right, Linda Mnisi, thank you very much for that update live for us in Cape Town this evening.